Welcome back to Low Buck Builds. In today's video, we're going to be working on my wife's new TJ. This is a 1997 Jeep TJ. We picked this up for $2,800. It has some minor issues, but I did drive it home. We'll take a quick walk around here. See, pretty good shape. Got a little bit of rust, but it is Michigan, so this is actually very clean. Up underneath, the frame's good. Could have had some repairs, but if it did, it was done right. We'll see more of that later on. So as for issues, we got to do something with battery cable or ground or something. It doesn't want to start. You gotta fight with it a little bit, wiggle it around. Second thing is power steering shot. And the third thing is it won't come out of 4. So we're gonna work on those things today. So let's get in the shop. I should have been a fishing YouTuber. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do on this thing is replace these terminals. You can tell they are rusty and crusty. This one's as tight as you can get it, and you can see it's loose. So we're going to go ahead and replace these first thing. So let's get to it. Alright, we're going to be replacing it with ye old cheapo Amazon terminal kit. I went ahead and replaced the terminals with the quick release ones. It's pretty easy to do. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on how to do it. I don't want to waste a bunch of time on this part of the build. Alright, so we got these fastened up. They're good and tight now. Not the greatest things in the world. They do the job, and do a job a lot better than these old rusty and crusty ones. So next we're going to start looking into the power steering issue. Alright, so this is the old style pump. Has the independent reservoir. We're going to be switching to a pump that has a reservoir on it. And just looking at this, I think it's just shot. So we're going to have to do a little bit of custom stuff to it to get it in there, but I think we'll be alright. So first steps, get this belt off, get this pump off, and get the new one on. So this is our new power steering pump, and as you can see, the reservoir is built in. It's on top. That old style one over there, they're notorious for cracking. They're hard to replace, so on and so forth. This one came with one on it. We're going to swap to this style. So I measured, and this one is like 1/8 of an inch smaller than the other one, so that's not going to be any deal. That's not going to be a big deal. We're just going to tighten up the belt, make up the slack. So we're going to go ahead and get this installed. This year of TJ, try to put it where you guys can see it. Right here is the bolt to adjust for your idler. That's how you remove the belt. You loosen up this bolt, it'll slack the belt, and we'll pull it off. This belt looks like it's brand new, so I don't think we need to swap a new one in. Alright, so one of the things you might come across, it's seized up, so what you might have to do is take a hammer and a punch, or I use a chisel, and hammer down on the bolt down here to get the pulley to move down. It might just be seized up. So if you loosen up the bolt and it's sticking still up and the pulley's not moving, just take and tap the bolt here and it'll go down so you can get the belt off. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the belt off of here. We gotta go and loosen it up, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to keep the rest of it all in order, and then all I gotta do is pop it back on there when we're done. So the nuts, as you guys know, are in between here. So you guys spin and take them out. It looks like maybe a 12 millimeter, maybe a 10. I'll tell you here in a minute. It looks like 1, 2, probably 4. Let me look on the pump. Oh, it looks like 3 actually. Alright, so 3. So we got 1, 2, and then I think there's a center one down here somewhere. So let's go ahead and get these. I think they're 10 millimeter bolts. Go ahead and get those out. Go ahead and pop this first. Get a line wrench for that. Get that one off. The other one's just a hose. Alright, let's get a line wrench. We'll pop this loose. Alright, let's try 11/16. Nope, it's going to be a 5/8. right? Yep.
A few moments later.
And this is a very long thread, and for most of it you can move one little link at a time, so it takes a little while. Alright, next I'm going to go ahead and get these out of here. They're 13 millimeter. They are on there. I have to spray down some Croil. That one's coming out. I had to get a breaker bar on this one. Sharp. Dang. You got it loose. It was on there. I can already tell these are like a mile long bolt, so this one I can get to it somewhat cheap. Because they are fine threaded. Your flathead about to have a mess. I forgot to say it, but I did put a catch pan down below because I knew a bunch of fluid was about to come. Overall, removing the power steering pump on this Jeep is not a very hard job at all. I'm surprised. On other vehicles it's harder to get this up, but this is pretty open. Here's the old reservoir coming out. Alright, so I went ahead and crawled under and disconnected the bottom hose, ended up cutting it off with this door. We got a new hose here. So next I'm going to go ahead and install the new pump. Then we'll run the hose down and we should be able to get this about wrapped up. So if your Jeep's like this one, it still has all the smog stuff in the way, you will have to remove it. I will show you how to eliminate that later in the video. So as I expected, I gotta move this stupid junk here out of the way. took me a minute, but what you do is you bend that elbow out so then it clears everything, as you can see. Now we're good. So yeah, you just gotta bend this elbow out a little bit, just carefully. Oh, hopefully we won't have any leaks. We gotta plug our plug back in, which is not even close to reaching. So we are gonna have to make an adjustment on that. We'll extend that wire at the end. Alright, now we gotta put our new hose on. Gotta figure out where the nipple is on this one. Right there. So you have to carefully bend down that brake. Alright, we went ahead. Got a clamp on there, got that hose set up. We got the other one ran down there. So now, a little bit of an issue, so it's only 2 wires. We're going to extend this about 6 inches so we can go ahead and get that sensor on. And then we got to mount this junk back up, which eventually I want to get rid of this. I'm going to have to look and see what I need to do to get rid of it. So, let's get to it. I'm going to go ahead and extend this off camera, and we'll get that. And then we got to connect the hose down at the bottom. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, I got 3 feet of hose for it. I went to Advanced Auto and got 3 feet of power steering holes, 3/8. So, alright, let me get to it and we'll come back. Okay, so you can kill me in the comments about having 2 red wires, but that's all I had in small diameter wire. And this is even a little big for this, but anyway, went ahead and extended it out about 8 inches or so we can hit this here. I'm going to end up zip tying, make it look nice after I get everything hooked back up. So we got this done. Now we just need to get the bottom connected and the belt back on. I'll probably do this, then get the belt connected back on, get that plugged back in, and then try to figure out what I'm going to do with this. I'll probably do the hose down at the bottom last. Alright, so here's what we did over here. Got rid of that stupid evap box. I ended up looping. This was the inlet for it, and this was the outlet down below, so I just bypassed it, ran this right to here. I kept this on, so I still got the sensor, got it connected. The this inlet line was all tore up anyway, so it was not working. We extended our sensor for the power steering. I got it all here zip tied out of the way. Now we just need to connect this line down on the bottom of the pump and we'll be ready to go. We got our belt back on, we got our sensor here hooked back up, and then we got to fill her up, of course. Listen for drops. I can't believe how expensive this stuff's getting. Alright, I'll show you how I bleed power steering. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the jack just on the left side of the pumpkin down there. We're going to lift it up just where the tires are barely off the ground. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Alright, so as you can see, we're about an inch off the ground on the right side. Again, just to the left of the pumpkin, balance it out. We're not climbing under there, so we don't need jack stands. Step 2, you're going to go ahead and pop your hood. And we're going to go over to the reservoir. Take the cap off. Just like that. And I like to have it about 3/4 the way full. If you fill it up every time, it's just going to pour over. You're going to want to get a rag and put it around here, because as it bubbles up, it's going to go out of the reservoir. Also, as you do this, you're going to want to keep an eye on it. If it gets below half, that's when I usually add a little more. Right now, it looks like we're about half, so I'm going to add a little bit to it. But again, like 3/4 of the way full. I'm not going to fill it all the way up because it's just going to end up on the ground. Ask me how I know. Alright, so I put a little more than I usually do, but still you want to leave some space for bubbling. I am out of shop rags, so we're going to make a mess. So let's go to step 3. Alright, step 3, you're going to want to turn your key to accessory just to unlock the wheels, but do not start the vehicle. Alright, step 4, the last step, is we're going to work from lock to lock, back and forth, 40 times is what they say. And I've done 80 on this so far, and I still have bubbles, so basically keep going until it doesn't bubble anymore. I'm going to set you guys up so you can see where it bubbles when I go all the way to the right, and we'll do another 80 probably. Here you can see it bubbling as I turn the wheel back and forth. It goes from full lock to full lock. And as long as it keeps coming up and bubbling over, that tells you you have air in the system and you get all that air out. Once you get to settle down to where you barely see it doing it anymore, that's when you start the car and repeat the process until you don't see any bubbles at all. Here I'm repeating the process, and you can't really see it bubbling. It didn't show up on film, but basically it's doing a little bit of bubbles here and there. So as soon as that stopped, then the bleeding was successful, or I like to call it the burping, but same difference. We also eliminated this floating battery and fuse box option, just temporarily. We'll eventually fix it right, but for now, at least this way it's not floating around. This is going to hit here and make some sparks and fun, and this is nice and secure as well. So let's get her out for a test drive. Yeah. So we drove it around. Thing drives great, but we still have some steering issues. It still wants to hesitate when you're making a quick right turn. So I think I'm about to do a little bit more bleeding, and we might be doing a steering box in this, but I think it's going to be more for it just needs additional bleeding. If you made it this far, thank you for watching the whole video, and if you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be doing a lot of things to this Jeep and my other Jeep and other vehicles and boats and all kinds of stuff coming up. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.